Hi guys, welcome to a new video. My name is Amber and today I have got a bee in my bonnet. Can you tell? So I don't know why, but well, I suppose I do know why. But I really want to put all of the watercolours that I own, not including like the Kuretake Gansai watercolours that I've got, but just like all of my other brands, all of my normal, traditional Western watercolour brands, all in one box. This is what I want to do. And I wasn't going to record this process, and I'm still not going to record the whole process because that would just be insane and we'll be here for like 5 hours probably. But this is like a bee in my bonnet at the moment, and I was searching all around the place for some good tins or something that I could use to put all of my watercolours in, because I'm just so sick of like having all of my lovely watercolours. So this is my Daniel Smith. This one here is my White Nights watercolours. These are also White Nights. These are also White Nights. I barely use these because they're just in a tin packed away all of the time. I've also got some other watercolours here. These ones are from the SAA, I think it's called. And they're really, really lovely, like natural watercolours. I never use them because they're always just packed away. Oh, I've just realised I've even got more down here. Hang on. These ones are my Schminky super granulating watercolours that I got for my birthday a few years ago now. I got like the full set, I think. And yeah, half of these I've never hardly even used, and that is because they're always just packed away in their own tins. And I was doing some painting last night in my sketchbook, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I just had all of my watercolours all in one place? And then I was hunting through all of my cupboards thinking, I know I've got like a perfect box for this somewhere. And I came across this. And this is a box that already had lots of watercolours in, and I bought it from the SAA, and it had like the Matthew Palmer watercolour collection in. And I just think if I use both sides of this, the roof and both sides of this, I could make the ultimate watercolour box. And so I don't know if I'm going to regret this or not, or if like this is even a good idea. And it does kind of seem a shame to me to take all of my watercolours out of their palettes as well, because like, it's their homes. But this is just something that I've got in my head and I just need to do it. So I'm going to do it, and hopefully I can fit all of my colours in here. I've got lots of the kneadable eraser as well, so I should hopefully be able to put a little bit on each bottom bit of pans. I'm sorry if you can hear that noise in the background, by the way. It's the washing machine. I've got all the doors and windows open today. So it's not ideal. But yeah, if I put a bit of that on there, hopefully they should all just stick and not come off. I mean, potential for a total disaster here. I might have to get some of those magnets if this doesn't work, but I also want to be able to just take the eraser off of them and stick them back in their tins if I want to. But where I don't really travel with these big tins of watercolours ever, I just thought, why wouldn't I just put them in a big box like this? So that's what I'm going to do. I asked you guys on Instagram whether you thought I should do rainbow order or brand order, and you pretty much all said rainbow order. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get myself out of my like OCD about having all my brands together, and I'm just going to put them in rainbow order. But I don't know, I might time lapse this. I might not. But this just wasn't the video that I was going to make today. I was actually going to go back to my painting with pocket palettes videos today. But don't worry, in the next few weeks, that is pretty much the only video that I'll be making because I'm so inspired by colour palettes at the moment. It's unbelievable. I'll show you here quickly before I get started with this. These pictures that I did. time this video comes out, these will be a couple of weeks old now, and I'll probably have lots more. But I was working with the June palette prompts that I shared on Instagram for everybody to use, and I was just so inspired, and I used mostly the colours in this watercolour set. So this is mostly my White Nights watercolours in here with some Roman Schmall and stuff, so they're all mixed up anyways. But I was just really inspired by the Painting Calm book to have a go at some florals, and I just had so much fun, and I just thought I would like to use all of my watercolours more. So this is where this has all come from, really. I've just been thinking about it all night. So over the next few weeks, I will definitely be making lots more of the Painting with Pocket Palette videos to go with our series, because that's all I want to do. But before I do that, I want to organise all of my watercolours. So I'm going to get started now. Probably started by taking all of these colours out of their tins and putting them in rainbow order, starting off with the yellows and the creams, I guess. My buff titanium there. Yeah, this is going to be quite the journey, so I might check in later and tell you how I'm getting on. I might not. Don't know if this is going to be really boring. I don't know if you're going to be interested. I don't really know. But if you clicked on this video, if you like watching my videos, you might be interested. So stick around and let's see what happens. So it's now day 2 of this ridiculous mission that I have set for myself. I know this sounds really dramatic, but I feel like I am making so many life-changing decisions and it's quite overwhelming, actually. But I know that I'm going to really enjoy this once it's finished. So I started off last night by sorting out all of the yellows, then I went to the oranges, then I went to the reds, and then I got to around the pinks, and it all just started getting a little bit too much because I only want to do this once. Okay, so I'm not interested in keep sorting it out and stuff, and I thought if I do this as well, it might stop me from buying more watercolours, at least for a while, because I will be able to see and play with all of the watercolours that I've got in my sets. But last night I was just sort of swatching a little bit the colours on these scrap pieces of paper, and then by the time I was finished swatching I was forgetting which colour was which again. So I decided now to, and this is with a little help from a lovely lady and fellow YouTuber and artist on Instagram, the Frosted Blueberry. I've decided now to create a little swatch box. Now she has got one of those Pokemon card folders and she has her swatches in there, but I knew that my mum gave me this box a few weeks ago and I really liked it, and I haven't used it for anything. She just got it when she got some business cards for something, and I thought, wouldn't this be cute if I use this as a little swatch box? And something that I have never ever done before is just sat here and swatched my entire watercolour collection, which, looking at it all, feels very, very why would you do this to yourself, Amber? I'm trying to get my phone off of the mount quick. Oh, and I can show you. Sorry, I put my hand over the screen. But this is all of the watercolours. Okay, so this is all of my watercolours apart from my Kuretake Gansai Tambi ones. So even I've got my Cotman watercolours over here, my Winsor & Newton Cotman ones, and this is been I keep saying today, I don't know why, sometimes this just happens to me, so sorry if you find that annoying. Something I have struggled with doing this is mixing all of my really beautiful expensive watercolours up, like my Daniel Smith and my Schminky colours, mixing them with the more student grade Cotman watercolours. So that has been a little bit of a problem because obviously I'm mixing them all up in here, but just by, this is how obsessed I am with my watercolours, just by looking at the tops of the pans I know what the brand is, so that's not really a problem at all. I know these are the Schminky, obviously these are my luminous Holbein colours, and then my Daniel Smith, this one's Daniel Smith, this one's, no it's not, see, I don't actually know that much, there's me trying to flex, but I failed. But anyways, I am labelling all of the little pans anyways, and I thought it would just be nice to swatch all of my colours. Then I can put them all in here in a really nice order. And then also, do you think this is ridiculous? Because I'm fully aware that this is like ridiculous what I'm doing. But I just think it's going to make my life so much easier once it's actually done. And there's colours here, like these really dark White Nights granulating colours that I've just never used because they're just in their own box. And I keep saying it over and over again, but I know I will have so much fun pulling one of my little colour palettes out of my Pocket Palettes box. And instead of using the Kuretake Gansai Tambi, I'll be able to use all of my lovely watercolours. And I don't really make work necessarily to sell, although it is something that I would really like to do in the future. But so it doesn't really matter to me that some of these colours are not light fast and some of them are. But if I was to want to make work to sell, then I can just easily get the colours that I want out of this box. So I just think that it'd just be so much nicer if all of my colours are in one place. And looking at this now, they might not even all fit in here. But that's something we're just going to have to see, I think. I don't know, I think they should. Hopefully there's room for more too. Oh, I don't know. But anyways, I've got these two pieces of watercolour paper that I have cut to fit perfectly inside the box. So what I can do is laminate them once I've done like a swatch card for all of my colours. And like stick them in here, and then that would also help prevent these from falling out up the top. But I'm just not going to know how this is all going to work until I carry on. But I don't think that I'm going to share this entire swatching process with you because that would be so crazy. So what I might end up doing is separate this into more videos in the future to sort of show you the swatching, or like swatching different colour sets, you know, so like the yellows and oranges, the pinks and the reds. Perhaps I can do that, or perhaps I could just record this process where I swatch this, which I feel would also have to be a two-part video. So basically what I'm saying is I don't really know what you're going to get out of this video other than me just being a lunatic. Because yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to go for now. I'm going to swatch these out, and then perhaps I'll show you the cards. But by the end of this video anyways, this box will be full. And whether I'll show you the swatching today, I don't actually know. But we'll see. So, yeah, I'm going to go and carry on. Wish me luck. I'll see you in a minute. It's now day 3 and I have infiltrated the kitchen table. There is watercolours and stuff everywhere around here. And here's how we're getting on. So, you're going to, might get like motion sickness with my camera right now because I have it in my hand, because I don't really have anywhere to put my camera mount in here on the kitchen table because it's a stupid table and it won't go on there. So I'm holding the camera just for a quick check-in on day 3. As you can see here, I have been very, very busy swatching all of my colours. And I'm beginning to wonder whether they're all going to fit in here. So I think it's going to be very, very, very tight if they do fit all in here. So at the end of this video, there may potentially have to be an elimination process, which I didn't want to do actually, because I just wanted to put all of my watercolours in here. But I've noticed by swatching my colours actually that there is a lot of colours exactly the same, pretty much different brands, but really, really similar. So like all of my ultramarines and stuff, I just think that perhaps I will have to eliminate some if I can't fit them all in and put them in like a bit on the side box. But I love how my little swatch box is going. That's super cute. So I've done all the yellows. Camera keeps going out of focus. I've done all the yellows, all the oranges, and my little swatch box is beginning to get full too, to be honest. So maybe I'm going to have to get a bigger swatch box. I have more watercolors than I thought. This is not like a sad problem. This is a happy problem. But I'm going to carry on swatching now. I'm on my turquoise greens now, which look, some really, really beautiful ones here. I haven't looked at these for ages, like the, oh, whoops, sorry, the Schminky Glacier Green, Daniel Smith Cobalt Turquoise. Oh, it's just lovely ones. Like the Schminky ones I haven't looked at for a really long time, so I'm excited. And there's lots of really lovely greens in that set, so I'm looking forward to swatching all those out. So I am getting on, ginging on. I am getting on, better English there, pretty well. So I'll check back in once I've done all my swatches. So I think it's day 4 now, but I'm not entirely sure. I have been away from this for 2 days, so I've come back now and I can't even remember how long I've been at it for. But we are nearly finished. So I got to about here and I realised that there was no way that I was going to be able to fit all of my watercolours in here. So I eliminated all of my Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolours because there were so many of those, and I guess that they are the only ones that are not like my professional paints. I know that some of the White Nights watercolours are not necessarily professional paints, but I just thought the Cotman ones was the ones that I wasn't really bothered about, and I wanted to make sure that I had room for all of my lovely special Daniel Smith paints and all of the schminky colours and things like that. But as you can see, I've still got loads of colours that have not quite fit in here yet, so I need to eliminate some. I was thinking about buying a bigger box. I saw some on Amazon where it was more like A4 size, so I thought I could use that and include all of my colours in, even the Cotman ones. But I've actually decided to not do that now because I just think, why buy more when really I love this little box and it's a nice size for my desk as well, and yeah, why would I do that? So I was thinking, I have loads of the same colour, even though they're in different brands. So this is what I did here. I also had to upgrade my swatch box because they wasn't going to fit in here. They had to go in this one because there's just too many colours. And let's get some of these colours out a minute just to show you. So I've got loads of the same colour. Like I've got quite a lot of lemon yellows and quite a lot of like ultramarine blues. The blues are all quite similar. So I thought I would sit down now and go through all of my colour swatches and eliminate any colours that are quite the same. I think that the White Nights granulating colours that I've got will match a lot of my schminky super granulating colours, so I might have to get rid of a few of those, and then that's what this tin is left out for. Any watercolours that I've got extra of, or that will be eliminated from this, will go into here. So then hopefully I can like just, when I've used up some of the colours in here, like if I keep this lemon yellow, which is nearly used up, if I keep this lemon yellow in here, when that's done, I can get another lemon yellow out of this one and put it in here. So that's the plan. It's going to take me some time. Do you know, I have listened to an entire 16-hour long audiobook while I've been doing this. I was watching one of Denise Love's videos and she mentioned the Court of Thorns and Roses book series. So I thought, oh, I'll give that a go. I fancy a new audiobook, so I haven't listened to any for ages. And I was hooked in an instant, and it got me through this entire process of swatching all of my colours. So yeah, I'm looking forward to now going back to my book and eliminating some colours, I guess, and see how I get on. But it's super satisfying. And then what I'm going to do at the end is, now this might not work, but hopefully it does. I've got these pieces of paper that I've laminated. Another thing that I found really cool, I've never used a laminator before. My dad had one, so I used it and I just thought it was really fun. I could laminate more. The plan is, now I don't even think this is going to work actually saying that, but we'll see. So I've got these little chips that I've cut out of my watercolour paper, and I was going to swatch on these and put them on this sheet in the order of the way the watercolours are in the box. Well, they're actually going to be smaller than these bigger ones actually, but yeah, these little chips. And so then I thought I'd be able to keep track of whereabouts they are, and these can be the swatch cards for the two sides in this box. And then I thought also that when I close this up, even though I'm going to stick these down, it would just help to keep them in place. But it might be a little bit big, and with these stuck on the front, might be a little bit bulky. So I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. But one thing at a time. Let's deal with one problem at a time with this. So yeah, I'm going to go now. I'm going to eliminate some colours and I will be back to check in after I've done that. Okay, next day now, day 5, I think. And so I have successfully eliminated all of the colours that I did not want in my box. I have also stuck all of the colours down. Look at that, isn't that nerve-wracking? And they're not going anywhere, which is really good actually. And I just used this Faber-Castell kneadable eraser. I love sticking things down with this. It works really well. It's like blue tack. So that's what I used on the bottom of my pans. I am now in the middle of making my little swatch charts for my for my box. I tell you what, I'll be glad to never swatch anything ever again. I feel like, because this is just, I've done all of these. But yeah, it's just been nice to like log all of my watercolors that I own. And well, just make this box really. I've just had a nice time. But yeah, so this is like my little laminated sheet, and then I am sticking the little swatch chips on here also with this, so I can always move things about. So none of it is like forever, you know. If I want to take a color out, if I want to put different colors in, I can always take the little chips off of this swatch chart, and they're stuck down nicely, so they're not just going to come off. So yeah, I'm in the middle of writing down the names, and then I've got another one here which I'll use for the bottom one. And I've tested it and I can shut this. It's not too big. I had to cut down the edges a little tiny bit, but ready? Ta-da! Maybe it's slightly too big, but it still shuts fine. So we'll see after I've done the second one if it will still work. But yeah, look at this. Oh, one's come out, but that's okay. I think the plan is to just be a bit more careful than what I just was with this, but it's okay. There we go, straight back in. These Holbein luminous watercolors are so flaky. They flake off loads, so I was debating whether to take those out actually, but I want to keep them in there just because I will end up using them more if they're in there, and that was the entire point of this box. The only one that I didn't use out of my Holbein luminous watercolors was the luminous blue, because in dried form in a pan it just goes rock hard and you can't reactivate it at all, so it's pretty pointless. It's only really good to use like directly from the tube. But that's it. I think it's just been my birthday a couple of days ago. And I have got lots of new art supplies, which I'm really, really excited about. And all I want to do is play, but I can't do anything without getting this done. I even got the new set of granulating Kiritaki Gansai watercolors, which I just can't wait to play with. So I'm doing this with all these watercolors, but the first thing that I'm going to play with is my Kiritaki ones. Anyways, I'm going to carry on with this, and I will check back in at the end when I've finished. Finally, day 6 now, I think. I am finished. I can't believe it. This project has taken me about, well, over 20 hours from start to finish. I have completely gone through all of my watercolor sets, minus my Kiritaki Gansai Tambi watercolors, and this little Roman small set as well that I've got, because this is just like my little travel watercolor set, so I wanted to keep all the colors in there. I have swatched every single one of my watercolors. I have organized every single one of my watercolors into this box. Are you ready? And then I've swatched them again on these little chip, I'm calling them chips just because they're cute, but I guess just small tiny pieces of paper cut up. swatched them again in the order that they are in the box and labelled them all up. I wasn't even going to bother with this part, but then I thought I'm not going to have a clue of what anything is, am I? So that would be silly if I didn't do it. So I did take the time to do it, and I'm really pleased with it. I can take these off as well. They're just stuck on with the kneadable eraser, just for in case I change colours or run out of colours, anything like that. So whether this will be practical in the long run, I do not know. But it was something that I had in my head and I really wanted to do, and I am so glad that I am finally done because I lost the will to live by day 4, definitely, probably, yeah. Anyways, yeah, look, if I leave that on there, you might be able to just see sort of what colours I've got. I was like thinking about making some more videos in regards to this set and like showing you all of my swatches and everything, but I'm not going to bother now because I've had enough. But you'll see plenty of this in future videos because this is where all my watercolours are now. And so when I'm using my colour palettes, this is the box where I will be picking my watercolours out of if I use my traditional watercolours, of course. So yeah, it was really fun putting them all in order. I've got some lovely colours here from like the SAA, this transparent orange that I love. A lot of my schminky colours that I just never use. I've said it multiple times in this video, but that's why I wanted to do this project in the first place. Is just because I thought I'm sick of keep getting tins out and just not having enough room for all my tins everywhere. And this way I can just have all my colours in one box. And apart from anything, how beautiful is it? Oh, that was an ugly noise. Scratch. Yeah, I just think it's lovely having all of my colours here. It's just delicious. And hopefully they stay. The only thing I'm worried about is like if I don't use them for a while over time, will they sort of lose their sticky, the kneadable eraser lose its sticky, and they might fall out. I don't think that will happen though, because this sticks to it quite tightly, so I feel like when the box is shut they are just going to stay in place. The watercolors might even stick to the back of here and they might come out that way, but this is all just going to be something that I see when I like as we go, do you know what I mean? So yeah, really pleased with this. Some really lovely colors that I just can't wait to play with now, even though I've had a lot of these for a very long time. It's just nice to be able to see all of my watercolors all in one go. If anything, just this swatch chart is ideal because I can see everything now, all the colors that I've got. And I can just pick directly from these with my color palettes and stuff. So next time I do my color palette, my pocket palette series, my painting with pocket palette series here on YouTube, I will pick colors out of my box here, so we can actually use it instead of keep just looking at it. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions at all, or if you've done the same sort of thing, I'd love to know how you've got on, so let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching. Where I've sort of recorded this video over the space of a week, I just think it's going to be quite funny to edit because yeah, it's just been like by yesterday I'd really just had enough, but I've pushed through and now I'm really happy with my box. Another thing is maybe I did the swatch cards a little bit too big, and now I'm having a slight bit of trouble closing the box. But it's a problem that I'm pretending that I don't have because it was all going so well until this final hurdle. But I can still close it, but it's just slightly tight. But perhaps that's a good thing for the watercolors, then they won't just bit of see, this is all the luminous colors. This is what comes out of their pans. They're so like chalky. Yeah, maybe it'll keep the watercolors in place a little bit better, perhaps. But yeah, I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I shall see you in my next video. Bye.